Hello, so welcome to this car dust tutorial, and I have this car dust tutorial start.max file, and we have this car animated for like 0 to 75 frame, and I'm working at 25 fps as you see here. Okay, and I also have real time is on, so if I select camera, we have car going from left to right over 100 frames. So we will create the simulation using final fluid grid. So for the setup, let me show you. I'm using thinking particles, and you can see that particle is colliding with ground and just going up some particles, and it's also colliding with the body. And as you can see, there is the main body of the car, and it is animated, and the wheels are linked, and wheel are also rotated over 100 frames. Okay, so let me show you thinking particle setup. So I have matter waves to emit the particles, that will be the dust particles. I am using 1500 per second particles and lifespan of 0.2 seconds. So particles will be deleted after like 0.2 seconds. If I change it to 0.1, you can see here. And motion resistance is not 100%. You can make it 100% if you want, but let's leave it. Speed is 10 and variation is 50. If this is 0 variation, you can see that there is some gap here that you can also fix using these subsamples. So I'm using half subsample. By default it's 0, so I'm using 1 for the collision. So second dynamic set is collision, and it's colliding with body cell, as you can see here. And if I turn it off, we have particles going up like this. So we are colliding with the this car body, these particles. So some particles are going down like that. Okay, and how I am emitting particles, I am using this box 2 3 4 5. So if I unhide, you can see that I have this box here linked to this car wheel, and it is the source for the emitter of the particles. So you can also use the type flow to do the same for the particle emission however you want. Okay, and I have this velocity, and I have given like 200 speed. So this speed doesn't matter. Here this 200, that's what matters. So I can give 500 and it will go very up. I will give 100 and it will be less. So let's keep it 200. Okay, so let's start by creating final fluid grid. I will just hide these boxes, and we go to standard final fluid. Let's go to top view, and we see the car. So as you can see, the car is at this point to traveling at this point. So let's create final fluid grid. So it's pretty much tight. I will just reduce grid depth a little bit more. Okay, so let's increase memory limit. I have 2080 Ti graphics card, so I have more RAM, so I will just increase the limit to 5 and we will see how much RAM it uses. And let's check height as well. Our particles will not travel all the way up, so we can reduce the height like this, and we can also reduce the width like this. Okay, so I will save as this plus. Okay, so we are in the middle of the step. Now we need to create final fluid emitter, so let's create emitter and we choose particles and we select thinking particles and we will select dust group. Okay, so now let's select the emitter final fluid and we need to cache this motion, so we will do cache and we preview now by default settings. So there is nothing, almost nothing. Okay, let's add preview objects as well. So we select the car body, we select this wheel, so we can preview these objects in final fluid grid, and we will select this ground box as well. Now let's preview cache. We need to enable this geometry caching. So now if I cache and preview, we will see, so we are seeing some particles. So let's reduce vorticity, mask 2.5. Now we are seeing some. So let's change the color gradient to more like dust color. So let's change it to dust color. So now we have more like dust particle, and we want to change some settings. So let's start with in fluid emitter we want to have dust, so we need more smoke. So we increase smoke and we can see the smoke is appearing. Let's give a little bit fuel. And in final fluid grid, in fading and damping, in sparsity, let's give 1 for the smoke weight, so smoke will not disappear abruptly. So now let's start changing settings. I will turn off this single pass advection, so we have more uh, detail advection. Let's reduce train to 5. So now we are seeing this some nice vorticity here. Let's reduce this. Let's give some buoyancy. So I will close and again preview. I will reduce this cell size as well. So now we have more particles and we can see our grid memory is 5.7 GB and we still have some blocks left to fill up, so it's pretty fine. We can go up to 2 cell size. Okay, so let's increase buoyancy like 800. Now we are seeing some nice rising of the particles. Cooling 5. We want more smoke here, so let's make it 50 smokes per burn. Temperature 10. Fluid burn to 5.5 and temperature per burn to 2, maybe 1. Let's reduce the strain to 3. Maybe it's going very high, so let's reduce buoyancy. And one thing we can do is it's just moving up. Instead we want we have this y gravity, so we do negative gravity, and so on the y-axis we give negative gravity, and we will see that this dust is moving forward, as you can see here. And what we can do is increase this simulation sub-step to 3. So for that to take effect, we need to close preview window and open again. Now we have some more dust on the ground, and you can apply a little bit smoke fading 0.5, so smoke will disappear faster. 1, so you can see smoke is disappearing faster. And this negative y, so this positive y is going this direction, and negative -6 will move particles more towards car direction, like a drag force to the dust. So I will just use -4. And if you want to see at other angle, you can see at other angle. This is top view, looking nice. So I will go back to camera view. So that's it. This is how you can create car dust that I have in my testing scene posted on Siba's website, and I will save as this file as car dust tutorial finish. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and it will be helpful to you. Thank you. Bye.